In 2025, Pew Research found that 34% of Generation Z said they trust independent content creators more than government agencies when it comes to science. This is a cultural collapse, not a fantasy. It is evident in every conversation. Parents are pulling their children from schools because they weren't consulted about curriculum changes. Since 2020, 18 million Americans have stopped voting. The rise of gated communities, homeschooling, private security firms, and off-grid movements is further proof. People aren't waiting for collapse, they are moving preemptively. Where trust should be, there is surveillance, fear, and censorship. We now live in a country where expressing an opinion at work can get you fired, but showing loyalty to falsehoods earns promotions. Public discourse is no longer debate, but a minefield. The American experiment was always built on a fragile contract of mutual trust. If you followed the rules, participated, the system would at least try to be fair. That contract is now void, and most people know it deeply. When trust is gone, cooperation is lost. When people stop cooperating, they stop tolerating. And when tolerance ends, they begin to break down. This does not happen on TV shows or headlines, but where real impact occurs. Blue-collar America has been systematically eroded, and no one cared until it was too late. A hard truth is, America no longer produces, at least not in the places it once did. From 1994 to 2024, the United States lost over 91,000 manufacturing facilities. This is not a typographical error. It means a factory closed every day for 30 years. The once familiar Rust Belt did not just rust away, it decayed. Cities like Youngstown, Gary, and Flint were once economic engines. Now they're the graveyards of American industry, amid smokestacks and fentanyl clinics. What has replaced them? On the coasts, tech campuses. In the flyover states, automated warehouses operating 16-hour workdays with no unions, no pensions, and under robot supervision. Do you want to know why so many people are angry? Because their dignity was outsourced to China. In return, they got an app that tracks their bathroom breaks. This isn't nostalgia, it's the real economic situation. In 1980, over 20% of American jobs were in manufacturing. By 2025, it's under 8%. Meanwhile, the service sector jobs have surged, but not in engineering or consulting. Coffee serving, takeout delivery, Uber driving, box packing. The working class hasn't vanished. It has been rebranded as gig workers and algorithmically managed. There's no ladder anymore, just a hamster wheel. This is happening while politicians gave speeches promising retraining and reskilling. They threw buzzwords at the generation that built this country with their hands and said, "Learn to code." Now those broken cities they abandoned are becoming toxic. Crime has risen, suicide rates have increased, male life expectancy has declined for the first time. Behind every closed diner or steel mill is a person who worked 40 years, followed the rules, and got nothing in return. They are not just angry, they have lost hope and stopped voting. When people lose their usefulness, they stop valuing rules. And when enough people break down, the result is destruction. The education system has been hijacked, producing the most anxious generation in history. If you wonder why teenagers seem 10 years older by 17, look at the modern American school system. It is a perverse mix: indoctrination, test prep, surveillance, and social media decay. In short, it's not school. It's a pressure cooker where children are expected to work like adults, maintain discipline like soldiers, and socialize via screens. The damage is everywhere. By 2025, over 42% of high school students are experiencing persistent sadness or hopelessness, nearly double the rate in 2009. But what no one wants to touch isn't just a mental health crisis, it's a systematic breakdown. Schools are now about control and conformity, not critical thinking or empowerment. Classrooms have cameras, AI-powered plagiarism detectors, behavioral algorithms. Students are tracked, scored, flagged, not taught. Real-life skills like finance, negotiation, or trades are replaced with sanitized curricula designed to avoid lawsuits and protect donor support. Forget history. They get a timeline. Half-truths. Forget the economy. They see inflation graphs but aren't told the Fed controls the money printer. Meanwhile, college debt has become a sentence. The average American student graduates with $38,000 in federal loans, degrees that may not guarantee employment. As HR algorithms scan resumes, humans never even see them. The blue-collar path? Public schools barely mention it. Shop class is extinct. Vocational programs underfunded. Children are told success only comes with a BA and a 4.0 GPA, while the plumber next door earns six-figure cash. This new generation is over-medicated, overstimulated, underprepared. Social media was meant to connect them. Instead, it destroyed attention spans, hijacked dopamine, and made them feel never good enough. When they finally break down, the system prescribes pills, not solutions. The result? A brilliant, broken generation barely hanging on. And if you think this pressure can last forever, ask any parent how many hours their child sleeps per week. The answer will chill you. Some breaking is inevitable, and the burden may fall on children. AI isn't the future. It's the monster already consuming jobs, industry, and identity. People still see AI as a tool or robot butler. When they wake up, it will be too late. In just 3 years, 2022 to 2025, AI has wiped out millions of white-collar jobs. Content moderators, copywriters, data analysts, paralegals, support reps, all gone, not laid off, replaced. It's not just jobs. AI is entering culture. Music labels sign AI artists. Studios write scripts with AI. Major news outlets publish AI-generated articles. Hollywood actors' faces and voices are scanned, paid once, and used forever. This isn't progress, it's erasure. AI can now mimic your voice, writing style, face, and identity with just a few samples. What happens when your fake version says things you never said and the internet believes it? We are told to learn to use AI as if it's a survival plan, as if a machine that will soon be smarter than us can be controlled by commands. Even the creators of AI are warning. Elon Musk called it a risk to civilization. OpenAI founders warned AI systems could evade human control. Yet big tech is moving fast. Whoever builds the most powerful AI will control the new world. The days of oil and gold are over. The new war is for cognition, and most of us are unarmed. This isn't innovation, it's power consolidation. A few unelected tech companies now control the world's most advanced intelligence tools, and they are not creating them to empower you, they are creating them to replace you. And when people realize they have been gifted, digitized, discarded, not in 2050, but now, the response will not be polite, it will be existential. Because AI hasn't just taken jobs, it has taken our value. Small towns are slowly emptying, and no help is coming. Want to see a slow-motion collapse? Don't go to big cities. Go to the heartland. Look at rural America, gas stations half abandoned, grocery stores replaced by Dollar General, schools understaffed, no factories, downtowns closed. Hospitals, if they exist, are bankrupt or operating with skeleton staff. Every place in small towns is now just fragmented signs. Roads, shops, and schools nearly shuttered. No factory smoke, no mill sounds. Downtowns closed, hospitals, if any, running bankrupt or skeleton crews. These are the marks of slow destruction, once full of prosperity and job opportunities. Now life is hard, opportunities are few, and assistance is almost non-existent. America is now standing at a point on the brink of collapse. Every critical metric in the country, crime, debt, mental health, social division, and the erosion of trust, is flashing red simultaneously. No one is imagining this tension. People are angry, desperate, and unstable. The entire nation seems to be running on its last reserves. Household debt has reached $17.5 trillion, the highest in American history. The suicide rate is at a 75-year high. Over 60% of people report that they cannot handle even a $1,000 emergency expense. Nearly 70% believe that violence will rise dramatically in the coming years. You can feel this pressure in the market, on the streets, at work, or online. Everyone is on the edge, and the systems that are supposed to hold the country together are breaking down at a pace no one wants to acknowledge. You might think this financial pressure is temporary, but it's not. In fact, the money you earn is being stolen day by day, and no one is coming to stop it. Inflation is no longer just a temporary rise in living costs. It has become an institutional scam, a silent tax that takes money from your pocket without permission. From 2020 to 2025, the value of the dollar has dropped by about 25%. That means a quarter of your purchasing power is gone. Meanwhile, your wages haven't risen much. Even when promised adjustments to the cost of living, what you get at the end is just a corporate handout or maybe a pizza party. Rent has doubled in 8 cities since 2019. Car insurance has risen 33% per year. Household food costs are skyrocketing. In August 2025, the USDA reported that a typical 4-person family now spends over $1,000 a month just to survive, not to thrive. Eggs, once ridiculed at $5 per dozen, still approach record prices in some states due to controlled supply. Companies aren't just charging more, they're giving less. The size of a cereal box that cost a family a certain amount in 2020 is now much smaller in 2025, yet the price is 40% higher. They aren't legally required to disclose these changes. We are buying a delusion of value. They are selling us air. Meanwhile, corporate profits have multiplied. The S&P 500 index has reached new highs not because the economy is strong, but because corporations are charging more for less and calling it efficiency. Most importantly, the Federal Reserve presents this as some mysterious atmospheric phenomenon, as if a decade of zero interest rates and $8 trillion in printed money wouldn't ignite the economy. You are not going crazy. You are merely living through a multi-front economic war, where every institution pretends it is not pressuring you and people are gradually breaking down. Because every time your grocery store, landlord, insurance company, or government can exploit you, human patience reaches its limit, and then you no longer call it inflation, but by its real name, economic warfare. Take the American healthcare system, or more precisely, the network of legitimate claims that sends us bills in lab coats 6 months later. This is no longer just about bad bedside manner or long waits. It is designed to confuse, bankrupt, and financially drain ordinary people. You can go to an ER today with a broken wrist and leave with a $14,000 bill, and that's after insurance. In 2024, a report from the Kaiser Foundation showed that over 43% of adult Americans are in medical debt, not due to irresponsibility, but because the system is built to profit off their suffering. Hospital billing departments now operate like debt collection agencies. Private equity increasingly controls more emergency departments and urgent care chains. They don't care about your health. They focus on stealing your assets. Another little-known fact, surprise bills are not random. Behind them is an algorithm called upcoding. Software automatically selects the highest billing code for your visit, even if you didn't receive that level of care. It is fraud, but legal. They call it maximizing reimbursement. Additionally, a hospital can charge you $68 for a Tylenol because that price includes overhead, CEO bonuses, luxury corporate retreats, and lobbying expenses. This is not a healthcare system, it is a scrubs-wearing mafia. Even non-profit hospitals you may trust are amassing tax-free profits in the millions while suing low-income patients over pennies. 1 in 5 hospitals in America is controlled by a private equity firm, focused not on care, but on profit. Now AI is replacing billing staff. Denials are faster, appeals are harder, and victims are more exhausted than ever. People are breaking down. They stop taking medication, cancel care, or rely on crowdfunding to survive dire situations. In this country, a GoFundMe medical campaign is launched every 2 minutes, and this system is called independence. If Americans are okay with all this, they are actually seething with anger, buried underground. They're not just sick from illness, they are sick from being exploited. More and more people are slowly realizing that they no longer trust the system. Not the media, not the government, not banks, not even the voting process, not even their neighbors. This is not a right-wing or left-wing conspiracy. It is a bipartisan psychological fracture felt in the bones. A recent Gallup survey found trust in the federal government at a historic low of 16%, lower than Watergate or the 2008 crash. Imagine, 2 out of 3 Americans do not trust any major institution to tell the truth. This is not just D.C., it is local news, public schools, your HOA, your company's HR, even the CDC and FDA, once gold standards, are now less trusted than a TikTok influencer.